Hi everyone, it's Carl here from the Vinyl Guys. This is a short tutorial video on how to apply the gloss and the white spot colours within Illustrator and within VersaWorks. So for the purpose of this video, we're going to be using Adobe Illustrator. Now once you've got Illustrator open, you'll see we've got our design, the Vinyl Guys logo. You'll also see we have the Roland VersaWorks colour palette open. Now, as long as you've got the VersaWorks 6 installed on your PC, these swatches will be found on your local disk. If you're not too sure how to bring them into Illustrator, we have another video showing you how to import these colour palettes. So if you want to check that out on our YouTube channel. But for now, we'll just carry on with the applying of the white and the gloss. So as you can see, once you've imported these colour palettes, you'll have your spot colours. So you've got your cut contour, which is your cut lines, your perf cut contour, your RDG White and your RDG gloss. Now these are the two colours we're going to focus on today. You've also got your metallic silver and also your RDG primer, which is for your UV printing. So all we're going to do is we're going to use this as an example. So we're going to put a white backing on it within Illustrator, and then we're going to turn the text into a glossy finish. So all we're going to do, I've selected the outer circle of the logo, and what I'm going to do is select the fill, and all you have to do is select the RDG White option, and that will fill it as white. On screen it will be a grey image, but that's just to show you that it has applied that spot colour. If you do struggle with these colour palettes, what you can do, you can create your own colour for your white or your gloss. All you have to make sure is that you're calling the spot colour RDG_gloss as it says there on screen. When you import into VersaWorks, VersaWorks uses that as a code, as a spot colour code, and it knows you want to print that spot colour. So it doesn't have to be that palette. The palette is built in for you. If you have anything CorelDRAW, X7 and above, that colour palette will be built into that software. So everything you see here you'll be able to do in CorelDRAW also. Even if you use any other softwares such as Flexi, Affinity, whatever you want to use, as long as the colour is called RDG_white or gloss, whatever you want to call it, that is the code that VersaWorks will recognise that you want to print that special colour. So I've applied the white ink and I want to put that on the back end. So at the minute it doesn't really matter where you put it on this, because it's in VersaWorks where you decide if you want to print it first or second, whether it's going on the inside of a window facing out, on the outside of a window facing out, whichever way you want to do it. We'll come to that in VersaWorks in a second. So for now all I'm going to do is move that to the back. So I'm going to send to the back. So you can still see it because it's got a white background, but you can now see your logo. So what I want to do now is apply the gloss ink to the text. So what I'm going to do is just select the text individually because it is ungrouped. What you can do is in your artwork you can select individual letters. So for instance, if you just wanted, say, the V as gloss and the G as gloss, you can just select individual components of your design and apply gloss to that. It doesn't have to be a block colour. You can select different parts of your job. As long as it's ungrouped, you can apply that gloss or the white to whatever you want to in your artwork. So for now what we're going to do is just try and select everything we can. And we're going to turn this text into a glossy finish. Apologies, it's all ungrouped, but it's just for the purpose of the video. You can see how you can select different components of the job. Like I say, it doesn't have to be the whole thing. You can select different parts of it. As long as it's ungrouped, you can then apply that gloss colour to it. So we're just going to select all the little parts of it. Just take a minute or two. And we'll also select the outer as well. We'll do the whole thing. So now we've selected all the parts that we need to, we want to add the gloss to. All we're going to do is copy that. So we'll copy that and we'll paste it. and all you're doing is repositioning that over the black. Because you still want if you still want to print the black, but you want the gloss to print over the top of it, you have to copy the image. If you change the black to gloss, it would simply just print a gloss image and leave the colour out. So all I've done there is copied what I want to apply gloss to. I want to keep the black vinyl guys text, so I've copied and pasted it. I've pasted it back over the top of the black, and now with that new copy, I'm just going to turn that into the RDG gloss. And then what you can do, you can just send that to the back as well. So you can send to the back. And now what you've got in there, you've got the Vinyl Guys logo, which is going to print in black. It will do a white backing. And then after it's done that, it will then do the gloss overprint over the black, just to make it pop, make it stand out a little bit more. So that's how you apply the white and the RDG gloss in Illustrator. So what we'll do now, we'll take it into VersaWorks and we will set a job up as if you're going to print this logo. So what we'll do, export it or save it as you normally would, either as an EPS or a PDF. Ideally these days, VersaWorks 6 is a lot more PDF friendly, especially if you wanted to use the job assistant. So we'll just call that TVG logo 1. Okay, so what we're going to do is bring that in. So you'd bring your job in as you would any other job. Bring it in there. So now we've brought our job into the VersaWorks 6 software. For this, we're going to be using the Roland LEC2 640, which is your UV print and cut, which will have your white and gloss in configuration. So as you can see, we've brought our job in. We've got a pink overlay for the white and the white for the gloss. As you come down, you've got the special items option, which will show you've got the white and the gloss ink. Now, whenever you use any sort of special colour from that Roland VersaWorks colour palette, it will always show whether or not it be cut contour, perf cut contour, white or gloss ink. When you bring it in, that special items will just show you what VersaWorks has detected you want to use. So for instance, now we've got the gloss and the white ink. So what we're going to do is set this up as a white and coloured job to begin with, and then we'll come back and do the gloss as a separate job on your white vinyl. So we'll open up our job settings. So you just normally set it up as normal. You get your media width, how many copies. For this instance, we'll just do 100. Now, as you come down, you'll have your media type and you'll also have a mode. So you'll come down and when you drop this box down, you'll have white HD, CMYK, CMYK HD, and then the two at the bottom is if you just wanted to print the white. So if you just wanted to do a white pass, you select the white or the white HD. So the differences between the two, so if you're doing a window sticker on the inside facing out, you print it in reverse and you choose CMYK first, white HD second. So it'll print the CMYK first and then it'll do a white on the top. So as you stick it to the window on the inside facing out, you'll have the colour facing outwards and the white acting as a backing. Where if you're just doing a basic sticker that's going on the outside of a window facing out, you'd select the white HD CMYK. So it'll print the white first as the backing and then the CMYK on top of that to create the white backing on a sticker. So for now we'll do just a basic sticker, so we'll do the white first and the CMYK to print on top. They will print at the same time, so it'll print the white first and the CMYK. It won't go back afterwards and do the CMYK separately. Select your colour management, which should be set as default in your Q settings, and then you can choose whatever print quality you want to use also. So now that is your job set up. When you're using a solvent machine, so the VG3 or the VG2, and you have the white ink configuration, the ink, what you might have to do is put a couple more layers down than you would on UV. So when we print with UV, we just do the one pass and it comes out quite thick. When you're using solvent, you may need 2 or 3 overprints to get a solid white on your clear vinyl. So if you go down to ignore default settings, you can click on that and you can select how many times you want to overprint that job. Now, obviously, if you press it now, it's going to overprint the white and the CMYK. So what you'd have to do first is print the white separately. So you go to your mode, select white HD, that will print the white. Then you come back afterwards and select your CMYK and print over the top. Obviously, you only want to print the CMYK once, so you don't have to select that option. So you select your white, so it's just going to print them white circles. Select how many times you want to overprint. And if you go down to cut controls, you can return to origin after print. So once it's finished that print of the white circles, it will go back to where it started. Then you can come back after that's done, change the mode to CMYK. And again, you only need one pass of that. So that will just do one pass of CMYK on top of your white stickers. So that is only if you're using the solvent. Like I say, it's totally up to the user's preference, how thick they want it to go. Like I say, UV, we only do one pass and it comes out quite dense. So all we're going to do now is send this over to the printer. We'll see how it prints with the white and the CMYK, and then we'll come back and have a look how to do it through VersaWorks. So with the VersaWorks 6, you can add the white and the gloss within VersaWorks itself. Roland have been fairly clever with the VersaWorks 6. So they basically say you can get the machine out of a box. You don't need any design software. As long as you've got a PDF, you can add cut lines, you can add white and the gloss to your image within VersaWorks. If you need more information regarding the job assistant, there is another video on our YouTube which will explain every little part of that. So if you want to head over and have a look at that first and then come back, and it just gives you an idea of how to get used to it. So what we can do, we'll select a job that hasn't got the white ink. So you'll see the white and the gloss is no longer in the special items, which is only a cut line. But what I want to do is apply white and gloss through the software. So what I'll show you first, if you go into your job settings, again, get media width as normal, go into your quality, and then we can go to, say, white CMYK again. What becomes available then is at the bottom, you've got special colour on the left-hand side. And with that, you can apply the white ink and the gloss within the VersaWorks software. So, okay, you don't need Illustrator, you don't need CorelDRAW to begin with. If you're brand new to it all, you can still generate that spot colour within VersaWorks. So you can click that, and what it allows you to do is select where you want to print white. So you can choose the entire image, you can choose the outside print area, or you can just choose the print area itself. So it will just print white around the black of the vinyl guys and also the circle. If you need a bit more in-depth white, so say if you just wanted the vinyl guys as white and the rest of it black, what you'd have to do is go back into your artwork the way we've just seen and edit it that way. And with that, you can do that with gloss as well. So as long as you've got, so you can go to generic special effect, change that to your matte varnish, or if you want to go special effects, gloss varnish, you can generate that spot colour in there as well. And it's exactly the same process. So you generate the special colour, you've got the gloss, and again, you can choose where you want to print that gloss. So you could have it on the outside, the entire image, or just the print area, as well. So that's how you generate it through the VersaWorks job settings. If you want to do it through the job assistant, you go to job assistant. And as long as you're on one of the new updates, I think it's 6.19 at this moment in time, you'll have the special colour options. So again, you can select where you want to add gloss and white within the job assistant. So you can add the spot colour white. It will always be 100%. If it's too much, you can lower the density. I mean, I've never known anyone needed to do that. So you can select the white, press create, and it'll put the white round whatever you've selected. Same process with gloss as well. You can select what you want, go to gloss, create that, and it just adds the gloss for you. So again, it's a very simple way for a new user to, not even a new user, you could be using Illustrator for years. If it's just something simple that someone sent you and you wanted to add the gloss or the white onto a previous job or even a new job, you can just come into Job Assistant, select whatever you want to print, gloss or white, press OK, and what it does, it creates a new job for you. So now it's created that job, it's now detected in the special items that you want to use white and gloss ink. So again, just a quick recap of how to add white and gloss within VersaWorks. If you want to know more about the Job Assistant, like I say, there is another video on our YouTube, but for the purpose of this video, we're just going to concentrate on how to print the white and the gloss at this moment in time. So we are now going to focus on the gloss ink side of things. Now there's a few different options with this. You can select a matte finish, you can select a gloss finish, and you can also do embossing, which tends to be fairly popular if you want to do sort of like a braille print, which we'll go through each section of that now. So we've got the gloss ink. We'll go back into our job that we just printed. And what we're going to say, obviously on there, it's just the white and CMYK. Like I say, you can't print white and gloss at the same time. So if you did want to do the white, CMYK and gloss all in one job, you'd have to do it separately. So to activate the gloss, or in this instance, the matte finish, you go to generic special effects. And what you can do is drop that down. You've got CMYK, you've got matte varnish, CMYK plus matte varnish. So that'll print at the same time. On that one, if you want to print CMYK, obviously you can just press that, but most of the time that will give you a matte effect. If you want the gloss effect, again, you'd have to do it in a separate pass. So you go to special effects. You've got the gloss varnish. Again, you've got the matte varnish if you want to do that separately as well, if you wanted to do an overprint. And also the embossing. So with the embossing, this will have to be done separately. So again, this is for your braille print. So if you want embossing, again, you can do overprints to make it protrude from the vinyl, give it like a 3D effect. So you can go to overprint and choose how many times you want to overprint. And that just doesn't apply to the emboss. It also applies to any of the varnishes. So if you wanted to do matte varnish, or the gloss varnish, you can still do overprints how many times, just to make it stand out that little bit more. So like I say, if you wanted to do CMYK with gloss, what you'd have to do is generic, select your CMYK, you'd print that, make sure the return to origin after print is selected, press OK, send that to print. Once that's finished, you'd come back into the same job, select that to special effects and select gloss varnish. Press OK, and that will go back and print the gloss over your CMYK print you've just finished. You can do that with anything, so it doesn't have to be gloss. Again, if you printed CMYK, you can come back in and do the matte finish if you wanted to, especially if you want to do an overprint. If you print matte varnish and CMYK at the same time, again, same with the white, if you do an overprint, it will overprint the CMYK also. So if you wanted to overprint any of the gloss, so the matte, the gloss, the embossing, you'd have to do it separately. So you'd select that, do your overprint, and select how many times you wanted to print. So for the purpose of this, we're just going to do generic special effects, and we'll just do a matte varnish. Again, matte will just give it a less sort of glossy finish. So you can choose whatever you want. So you can press OK. And that now tells the job that you want to print the CMYK and the matte varnish. Again, it's exactly the same with the VersaWorks applying of the gloss within there. So you've seen it just previously within your job settings. So like I say, you get a special colour. Select the gloss varnish, special colour. It's already got it on, so we go into the one you haven't adjusted yet. Special effects, gloss varnish, and then you can generate that in the special colour. And again, you can choose where you want to print it. Also the same process for your job assistant. So again, you can go into that one. Select that one, select your gloss, select what you want to print in gloss and create. And that's how you do it on that one. So what we're going to do now is you're going to print that out, and we'll see the finished article with the glossy finish.